Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead for today. This one is going to be doing our weekly Saturday Spotlight for this week. This one's going to be a fun one. This one is going to be talking about Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead television series. Oh my god. As soon as I got the suggestion, I was like, yes, oh my god, yes, I have to do this. So, this one, this is one that was suggested. A lot of people wanted to see this, but the one that specifically has been suggesting this actually for a little while is Epic Zombie Killer for this week. So, shout out to Epic Zombie Killer, of course, for suggesting this video. Go subscribe to Epic Zombie Killer right now, of course, and also, just to mention, of course, every week, whoever comments first for the next Character Spotlight video for next week, we'll get a shout out next week for the Dan's Reviews Character Spotlight video. So you got to comment first. If you're the first comment for the suggestion for the next Character Spotlight video, you will get a shout out in next week's video. So, okay. Merle Dixon from the Walking Dead television series. So, of course, we don't have Walking Dead tomorrow night, but I've actually been going back every spring. I always do a marathon of the series from season 1 all the way to to whatever season we're at, so season 9 this year. And I'm currently in season 2, and I'm like, oh man, Merle's like not there. It's just like, oh man, it's so sad, because it's like, I just love Merle so much. He's such an awesome character. So, let's discuss Merle's character throughout the entire series. Mainly season 3, but, you know, let's discuss his character. So, of course, in season 2, of course, he's on the rooftop and he's shooting the rifle and he's like, hey, you should be more polite with a man with a gun. Only common sense. And he's just like, and then T-Dog kind of starts yelling back and forth at Merle and stuff, and basically, Merle beats him up pretty bad, and he's like, all right, now I'm the boss, right? And he's like, we're gonna have a little vote, you know, and he's just like, I talk about who's in charge, and he's like, I vote me, and he's like, all in favor, and like Morales is just like, you know, and like Andrew's like, oh, come on, you know, and he's like, all in favor, right? And then he's just like, Merle's like, that means I'm the boss, right? Anybody else? Anybody? And then Rick, yeah. You know, and knocks him down or whatever, and then of course, locks him to the roof or whatever, and basically, we have the Merle. Things are different now, you know, and basically he tells him that he's the only, all I am anymore is a man looking for his wife and son. Anybody that gets in the way, that's gonna lose. And he's like, I'll give you a moment to think about that. And he's like, screw you, man. And then and he's like, I obviously see you can't, you know, you can't see what I'm trying to say here. And he's like, yeah, well, screw you twice, you know. And he's like, be polite to a man with a gun, only common sense, you know. So he kind of brings that back, back towards him. Now, I really do like, too, how Rick, because once Rick does that, once Rick kind of bests Merle here, everybody kind of looks at Rick as, holy smokes, who's this new guy we just saved, you know? Glenn didn't just rescue some guy in a tank, you know? So that's, yeah, I really like that scene a lot. So, because the group kind of starts to see something in Rick. So I like that a lot. So, of course, Merle is, basically, he's stuck on the roof, and even when they're leaving Atlanta, and he's like, yes, come on, let me out of here, T-Dog's just, he doesn't, right? And, I really like, too, when he's on the radio and he's like, T-Dog's like, if anybody can hear my voice, please tell me, because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing mine. And he's just like, well, that makes it 2 of us, so, yeah, I like that. And he's like, you're giving me a headache, boy, so anyway, that was cool. Now, I really like, just everything when it comes to, Merle and T-Dog, their dialogue in that episode, too. Oh, I loved it. So, we have Merle who's stuck on the roof, of course, and then even when T-Dog was gonna let him off, of course, he drops the key down the drain. Now, I found it so funny, too, because it's like, they go back, yes, Merle is stuck on the roof, but then when Daryl tries to, find out what happened to him, he's like, I had the key. I dropped it. And Daryl's like, you couldn't pick it up? And it's like, yeah, why don't you say you dropped it down a drain? Not just say, I dropped it. Because it does sound pretty stupid, to be honest. He's like, I had the key. I dropped it. And he's like, you couldn't pick it up, So, yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. Now, of course, that's the end of Merle. We know that he cuts off his hand, his own hand, of course. We do see him again in Season 2 at the farm when Daryl kind of gets hurt. But of course, he fully returns in Season 3, and of course, he's like, now, how's about a big hug for your old pal Merle? And then Andrea just, falls asleep, basically. So, yeah, I like that. it's too much to take, right? So we got Merle, who's part of the governor's group, of course, and he seems loyal, and I really do like too. I like the part where they're, if you guys remember, when they're at Milton's like office or whatever, just like his just where he does his work basically, the governor comes in, right, and you got Merle and Milton there or whatever, and he's like, "You finished your homework yet?" And he's like, "Yes, the dog's eating it," and he's like, "What'd you call me?" And he's like, "Easy," and he's like, "You're gonna steal his lunch money while you're at it," So yeah, I like that. But anyway, Merle basically is part of the governor's group, and having hilarious lines as always, and of course is, like I said, pretty faithful to the governor until he finds out that his baby brother's alive, right? So of course we have Glenn and Maggie, who he captures, tries to get information out of them, and of course as soon as he sees Daryl, that's when he kind of changes sides. So him and Daryl are, of course, forced to fight to the death, and they both get out of there thanks to Rick and Maggie, and then they both take off from the others since Rick doesn't want Merle to be part of the group. So, of course, we have the stuff on the bridge there, too, when they're saving those people, which that's when Daryl really finds out that him and Merle, they don't have the same relationship as they did before. Things have changed, and Daryl goes back to, with the others, so Merle kind of goes with him. So then, of course, we have what would be kind of the end of his story, kind of going out as the hero, with the whole Michonne thing, letting her go back to the others, and then he just basically takes walkers, has a drink, and goes and fights the governor's people and kills 8 of his men, and then tries to kill the governor, of course, and then we have his death scene where he, I ain't gonna beg, I ain't begging you, and he shoots him, right? So, then, of course, the saddest part is the part where Daryl actually finds him, which I really did, I did feel bad for Daryl, of course. That was probably one of the saddest scenes for Daryl to shoot, for Norman Reedus to shoot on the show. So, yeah, for sure, that was a big scene. But, oh my god, man. Merle was just awesome. Just from Season 1 and to Season 3, and a little bit in Season 2 with the episode where Daryl gets hurt. Oh, man. Just love it. I really, really love Merle's character. Really miss him in the show, too. And I really think that, it's a character that a lot of people still miss even to this day, like characters like Shane and Merle. Those are, specifically Shane and Merle. If there's two characters that people really, really miss, I feel like, is Shane and Merle from like the early seasons. They were characters that a lot of people missed, and definitely Merle is a missed character for sure. So, really enjoyed Merle's character. There it is for you guys. What are we going to do for next week's Character Spotlight? That is up to you. So, of course, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.